We're super excited to introduce Innovative Orchestrator, the first AI super agent for omnichannel advertising. We're bringing humans and AI agents together so that marketers can conduct a symphony across channels to reach their most valuable customers.
AI is not a matter of if, it's a matter of how and when, and we will help you solve that.
Everyone, David Berkowitz here. Welcome to a special edition of AI Insiders. And I've got a very special guest today because it's me. And we are trying a first ever experiment in this Thanksgiving holiday week because I'm obsessed with vibe coding. I'm just like, I used to say kind of obsessed, but no, I'm vibe coding all the time. And our friend Carolyn here was hoping that it was the other David Berkowitz, and that's why she showed up. And you know what? Why not just use that as the segue here? And I'm going to start sharing my screen and doing stuff. We're going to see what works, but you will get to participate very soon. And I'm glad we have a fun turn. I had no clue who wind up being around for this kind of thing, but this is like a dry run, hopefully to do way more. And let's share this. This is one of my favorite things. I've vibe coded, and I use this entirely via base 44. If you haven't seen it yet, and if you registered before with a little bit of notice, then you probably got vibecoding101.info. Recommend going to that. We can pop it in the chat, and I've got so many windows going, or I do so myself. So feel free to put it right in there. But so much of the info about this session is on vibecoding101.info. And so I'll share a little bit about ways I'm using it for folks here who have vibe coded anything. And it's okay if you haven't. All the happier if you've never tried anything like this before. You do not need to have done any of this. But all the better. If you have vibe coded something, feel free to pop it in the chat, share some examples, share some inspiration, share your favorite tools. On here, I recommended base 44 and Lovable because I've used them and found they're a couple of the easiest to use and have a good mix of features. There are many others, and Replit and Cursor, some are more technical than others. You can vibe code things within the major LLMs and AI engines, and Claude's got a great reputation for what you can build with vibe coding. Gemini 3 is pretty damn good at it. I've been playing around with that some, but I found that these two, like, to actually get a working version of a site live that you could share with someone else. These are two of my favorites, but by no means a requirement. If you have something else you're using already, great. So anyway, but like with these kinds of apps, like for notthatdavidberkowitz.com, I didn't code anything. Vibe coding is all about just talking to an AI engine and telling it what to build. And we can even go behind the scenes here, and I'll go into base 44 where I'm on there a lot. And so if we look, we'll start with this one, but we can look at some others. And you could see this whole conversation that I've had with this whole vibe coding site. So here's my bio. Like, let's get a little crazy. I'm just riffing, right? Like, this is as conversational as it gets. I give it a little bit of info about me that I copy and paste. And now it starts coming up with the plan, right? here's what I'm envisioning. I love when they talk in the first person here. It's like if you're anthropomorphizing a little bit much here. It's giving me design ideas, noir aesthetic. My daughter loves the word aesthetic. She'd absolutely love this. And so then it gets to work, finds some of its own errors. I flag a couple errors. It's trying to fix things. I upload some photos, works the stuff in, and then all the while it just keeps evolving. And I put in some info about a play I wrote on these themes. I just like pop in some random stuff, and it just keeps riffing on this. And then even for the quiz, at some point, my daughter gets home from school and she sees what I did, and she's 11 and knows the kind of father she's dealing with here. And so she takes this and she goes, "It's too easy." So she makes it have a round 2 of the quiz. I noticed a few of the questions were actually wrong. But so I had to go and fix them. And but like one of my favorite things, by the way, in vibe coding is actually right here. Any other fun ideas? And just tell me first here before implementing. And here it goes. So FAQ, timeline, Hall of Shame. Just call out some of the Seinfeld references. So with this, any questions so far? Yeah. I'm like, I do this kind of stuff all the time, and I'll show like a little bit more of a work example that that I use all the time. I mean, you've seen Vibe Coding Hub itself, but like this agentic advantage toolkit, I created this because I was giving a talk on agents, for agencies in particular. And so I vibe coded the site, some with some info. I uploaded my presentation so it could take materials from there and adapt them. But it has all these interactive scorecards and calculators, a whole library of use cases. And by the way, the one slightly technical thing I do, hold on, I'm just going to go back into here, is I do like to go and register custom domain names. So usually they're pretty cheap, especially for the first year. And then with these things, like, you don't need a custom domain name, but if you are really going to do anything with this site, then there's just like a little bit. Lovable actually makes it super, super easy to connect domains. Base 44, if you've ever actually gone in and had to change a DNS setting for a domain, I mean, they'll talk you through how to do this, but there's just like a couple little steps involved in getting a custom domain to work with this. But then, but once I set this up, I just started using it for other kinds of presentations and things like that. Like, instead of leave behinds and things, I'll just put up a QR code with a site with resources. Like, I was giving a talk with my alma mater in September, and so I already had this site. I'm like, okay, I'll just use that, and then have a Binghamton version for Binghamton University. It's in Binghamton's colors. It has a quiz that goes alongside. It's way simpler, but I can just kind of pull all these things together. So that's so much of it, right? It's just talking to it and coming up with something from scratch, and it's kind of wild and fun, especially for folks like me. Like, I know a tiny bit of HTML. I don't know other coding at all. I've always wanted to be able to do stuff like this. And yes, like, there are definitely points. There are some things I've done, I'm trying something to make it easier to request intros to my professional network. I found that some like the technical things like that are really, really hard uh, for vibe coding. There's another thing I put together where I ultimately needed a developer to do that like last mile piece of it, and then just like connect a few last thing. And so I don't want to make it sound like you can vibe code literally any site you want with no technical knowledge. But for a lot of what you want to do, and probably if you haven't used it yet, more than you think you could do without known code, I love it. And it's just like gotten a lot of creative juices going for me. It's provided some utility when I'm pitching and presenting to folks. Yeah, there's a version of a companion site where I did this for a client I'm working with right now that I'm doing some training for, and I just asked it, can you add a password to it? And it can, right? Like, so you can do stuff that's totally private, all kinds of things. I want to go back to vibecoding101.info, and if you can now, open up Vibe Coding 101. I'm going to share my screen again because this is where we start getting really interactive. And again, this is all an experiment, so we're going to see what the heck works here. Things may break, but let's give this a shot because we are going to go and vote on what our vibe coding challenge today will be. And then you're going to get like 15 minutes or so to vibe code something. No one has to participate, by the way. If you want to just watch and hang out with folks, like chit chat with people in your breakout room. Again, this is low pressure, pre-Thanksgiving fun here. Let's just like have a good time, learn ourselves, learn from others. But let's go and open this up again. And now we are going to go and have a vote here. Let's unlock the challenges. Here we go. So, go on here and whoops, of course, I've got too many things. Where am I going here? Let's go back to vibecoding101.info. And now in the password window here, because we want to make sure this is fair to everyone. So you have not seen this before. Thanks AIMG, all lowercase. Okay. Thanks AIMG. Someone wants to put that in the chat just to make sure people can find it. We have a vibe coding challenge option here. So we've got a potluck organizer, a leftover idea generator, gratitude bingo, holiday activity generator, conversation navigator. So a few of these were suggested by Base44. A couple of these came from me. The conversation navigator was my idea. I don't know about your families, but mine will either get into stuff or be very consciously avoiding getting into stuff. So not trying to steer results any, like I got way too much turkey in the oven right now. I do not know what to do with. So, but let's get your votes in and let's see where this is going right here. So hopefully some of you are voting right now.
5 is winning.
5 is winning here?
Yeah, 5 is winning.
Okay, yeah, looks like we got 5. Okay, so
Feels like we all have conversations we're worried about over the holidays.
So
I went for 4. I think I'm the odd person out.
I said 3. There were a couple of us.
well, 3 almost. Okay, well, I think we've got something really useful coming here. Conversation Navigator. Now, again, what we're going to try doing if stuff doesn't break is you can take, again, with one of the vibe coding tools that have been featured already, like Base44 and Lovable. You can use your own tool of choice. We're going to go in breakouts for 15 minutes. Going to give you a chance to vibe code stuff, and then we're going to do a share and try to figure out how to vote on winners. How was it? Let's see. Oh, Chris, I see yours here. Okay. You want to talk us through this sec?
So I just put the basic prompt that you had suggested up to start, and this all came up. And so I just started like thinking through a few things that I might want. I liked the tips. There was only one tip initially. I thought that might not be enough to help people. So I said, please increase it to 3. I didn't really I changed the conversation starters. It was politics. It was all this kind of stuff. I was like, religion. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I asked it to change it to, and I said, I gave it humor and all that, but it added the last one there on conversation starters. And then I thought, well, it really depends on the size of the event.
That's cool.
If you're with just one other couple and you and your spouse or something like that, it's very different from being in a room with 20 people. So I asked it to provide different tips based on the size of it, so you could make a choice there. And then on the do's and don'ts, I actually add all the topics that I pulled out. I said just add those at the bottom, and just said don't start with politics, don't debate religion or anything like that. So all these came out of the stuff that I just hated that they had suggested initially as conversation starters.
That's great. I might pass this out on Thursday. So yeah, it's good. Even like having a printable PDF is this one, or the wallet size version. So great going, Chris. Thanks for kicking us off. This is awesome. Who wants to go next?
I don't know. I have a Thanksgiving turkey generator because I guess I must have not figured out what the right challenge was. So I did it that one. And I also published a URL. I did it in Replit.
Oh, cool. Let me check. Here, I should be able to see. Let's see.
I think it's mine over there.
There we go.
This one? Yeah, this one here.
All right.
I think this is my first app like this.
Awesome. That's what I love to hear.
Yeah.
So what should we pick? Someone call out what we're selecting.
I don't know. I mean, turkey, it's got to be the main ingredient, and cranberry sauce I have to have with that. That's dessert with it. But everything else, I mean, is up for grabs.
I want mac and cheese and everything. Let's see.
I think it charged me like $1.30 in credits for this.
Well, hopefully we don't go too crazy here. This is also the live. Oh, here we go.
It takes like I think like about 30 seconds to 45 seconds, and it comes back.
And okay, so you use Replit for this one.
Yeah.
Chris, remind me, what did you use?
It was what was the
all right.
There it is.
Stage 44.
Oh, okay. Oh, look at that. Oh, this is
Wow.
wow. This is like Momofuku level breathing here.
But it gives you the instructions to, like below that, like how to cook it out.
Wow, the sage.
Test this recipe, Marshall. Test this recipe yet? Have you tested this recipe yet?
No, not yet. No.
Try go at the bottom. Try to do another variation.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fun.
Much fun.
Yeah.
So
love it.
I read this morning that a lot of bloggers, food bloggers, they're being redirected to AI. AI is coming here with all these recipes that people are guiding them to and luring them away from all these blogger sites that write about food, and the recipes are actually incorrect and a lot of problems.
Yeah. So, but it's like we go from one challenge of like too many ads on a page to another of, does this recipe even work?
Yeah.
So Yogesh, can we go with yours? Let's see your links here.
I was just playing. I just did this in about like the last couple of minutes actually. So I would have to learn my way through it too. My prompt was basically very simple, where I said, "Oh, can you access it or no?"
Right now it's saying it isn't live yet.
No, it's not live.
Do you want to share your screen or?
Yeah, sure. I can share my screen. Yeah. So on the left hand side, you can see. I just put in this prompt here basically that said, help me build a conversation navigator for Thanksgiving break. I want to be able to diffuse discussions on politics, religion, life choices, finances. right? Help me ideate to keep discussions peaceful, humorous, and recommend any other suggestions. And that's all I put in basically on this platform on base 44, and it basically created this this interface basically. So I guess if I click on that, yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
In this conversation for food, it'd be a fruitcake list. Switch to pie topics. So yeah, it's kind of like done a pretty cool, look and feel basically. No, I did also do it on Lovable just to see what would happen.
Nice.
So exactly the same prompt as well. I did not change anything, but this is how it showed up in Lovable basically. So I'm pretty impressed actually with the interface. That's pretty cool actually.
Same exact topics I got originally that I hated.
So that's what I liked about yours, which you won't see in mine. Like, I like how it gives you sort of did you prompt to get the boxes at the top? And Chris, did you prompt to get the different? Yeah. Okay.
Interesting. So if you look at the top left corner where it says "Help me build a conversations navigator," that was my prompt.
Okay.
Awesome. That's Yosh. Lisa, could we go to you? I've got yours open here. I'm happy to.
Okay. Great. Because I was just submitted the preview, but I just published it. So
awesome.
I did the same thing. I just started, we were short on time. So I just put in the description of what I wanted. And then it was starting to build something and it said it couldn't quite do it. And so then I put in the only custom prompt I gave it was that this is for family. This will be a family gathering in a Thanksgiving theme.
Mm-hmm.
And so it kind of tailored it toward that. But I didn't give it any, other guidance about what to talk about or anything. Design's not gorgeous, but I also didn't give it any guidance.
And also, I like the fall colors. I think it's yeah. So and some of these things like you'll see like once you've seen a bunch of these, then even then like you need to start specifying like, okay, like change some of these fonts, change some of the layouts. Let's like not make it look like too many others. Even with Vibe Coding 101, I tried changing the fonts and then it changed everything to that really like futuristic one. And then it was unreadable. So I'm like, okay, just the headers.
I know, perfect.
Yeah, it's it's a conversation, which is fun. Let's see who else is sharing. Let's see.
I used Claude for mine. And I could share it, but I have to share my screen.
Okay.
It's Bill Amstutz.
Yeah. Go for it. Why don't you?
Okay. So I asked it to make it work for the phone mostly. So I think that's why the design isn't very good. But you can see you can go to Hot Topics, pick Tech and AI, and it gives you these conversation starters. I asked for more politics, so they gave me a bunch more. But my favorite thing is that I don't know if you guys heard of this thing called the cousin walk. That's when, it was just in the news this week. That's when people leave Thanksgiving and go for a little walk, and then they come back and they're happier and hungrier because they went out. So I put in here a cousin walk coordinator. So you could click here and indicate that you're in and want to go for the walk.
I love that. That is really fun and very.
We're seeing similarity there. The emergency topic was available there, and also on the other Replit version. So that's an interesting thing that the AI has come up with. In mine, it was emergency exits. So it's just more like, oh, I've got to go speak to that person over there, and so they gave you a couple prompts. Yeah, useful. I thought it was great.
Ernie, do you want to share? It says I don't have access, but if you want to share directly.
Oh, yeah, we can. It's okay. Actually, I can share. There's not much to it. And I was actually, the downside is that I didn't build any interactivity into it. So I would want to pay more attention to that. But let me get the share. So I did, yeah. I made it a little broader. So for industry and New York City marketing, so it has some tips about marketing and then conversation starters, and then these exits, which I thought was pretty nice. Let me grab your card. I got to go. So another session, media buying might be your topic, but even still, like, I've got to get out of here. So I just wish it was more interactive. I wish there was a way to the next step would be within one of these, maybe to have like the AI generate some more things. Allow me to convert with the AI in this topic.
And I'm already blanking on who's right now. So sorry, but one we saw also had some tab and didn't get to try out. That's like conversation practice. Which I think could also be a lot of fun. Yeah.
I built one, but it's deploying because I built it in Google AI Studio. But it's it detects conversations, so you put it on the table and you click arm.
Cool.
And it's like it's a rant stopper. So if anybody's talking for 4 minutes, it does the sad trombone, the womp womp sound, and puts an alert. And then there's a cringe detector. So if someone starts relitigating like old beef that they have with their family members, it triggers. If anybody starts talking about money, political hazard, danger zone stuff, then there's like the anti-single life shield. So it's like, why are you still single? When are we getting grandkids? Still no job, all that stuff.
I'll share that one. We need to. That's what we need
as soon as it posts. So
share it. It would be kind of funny if we set this up for some of the braver speakers at AMG. It's like they start hearing that womp womp sign. Emily, is there anything you want to share? I saw your note in the chat, but
oh sure, yeah. I just built one that will psychoanalyze the person who's having who's presenting the suspect statement, and then provide therapeutic approaches to helping to de-escalate the conversation. So trying to be very empathetic.
Oh, really cool.
Mine's a generator to give you something bizarre to ask, to change the topic. And then was it Ernie hey Ernie, dude, it's good to see you. Was it you or someone just now mentioned the emergency stop button? Like, got to get out of this conversation.
Yeah. So
there you go.
So Mark, how'd you get that badass design going? Of this,
honestly, that came out on the first try. I tweaked the colors, but it gave me the background dots and, pretty good start. And I like the weighting of the copy on the page. Yeah. Like it looks like a website, with the, and that's the emergency, like hit that generate excuse button and then you'll get there's lots of, some of them are really,
I gotta say this is like, however you did it also, that it doesn't look right off the bat like a typical Lovable in base 44. Like we see their built-in aesthetic and somehow you're able to break that right away. But I also like the example that can be done quickly, even for an on-the-fly challenge. So
interesting. I wonder if it's the way that I put the prompt in. Like I gave it a little bit of a structure, not structure as in like labeling and coding structure, but more like headline. This is what it should do. I kind of gave it a sense of I don't know if that's what did it, because I was noticing that too. Each person's is so different, and I think we all are prompting very lightly, right? I don't know if anybody's really clear about design, or if they were, what kind of results you got.
Okay, so
question about the usage. Once you build these apps, is there a charge for it, or is the charge just for creating the apps?
Well, so typically with most of these things, like there's a free plan that lets you do a few light things. There's a monthly fee that will and you get however many tokens, credits, things like that I honestly have a hard time understanding. But then and then might give you features like allowing you to use custom domains and certain other elements. We're coming up on time. Let's see, fingers crossed, if voting works. Sorry if you haven't gotten to show your projects. Again, maybe next time, like we do a workshop, we'll schedule an hour and a half or something and have a little more time for all this. Again, I really appreciate so many people being here for this pre-holiday weekend experiment. Try to go to I'm hoping here. Vibecoding101.info. Type thanks AMG to vote for your favorites.
Well done, man, on the fly, like staging this out, adding to the page in real time.
There will be some swag coming to a couple of winners. Appreciate everyone joining again. Like, you like this stuff, we could do more of it. And like, we'll set up a thread in the Slack too that you could share all this stuff. I'll make sure to share all these links, and again, we'll keep learning from each other. So I hope you actually got to meet a couple other people in the community too. Thank you, everyone. Have an amazing, amazing, amazing holiday. Grateful for all of you and this community coming together. And thanks again. Feel free to DM or email me any feedback, stuff like that. I will be referring to some of your sites tomorrow. So as soon as someone says Gaza, I am opening up one of these sites and being like, okay, what can I do about this? It's great. So good luck, everyone.